Lynn Maybus and Deb Marcus for inviting me to speak, and all of you. I feel honored to see so many friendly faces, and I want to thank you for coming today. I'm here to stand up and to speak out. Stand up and speak out. I'm here to honor everyone who has gathered here today to support the Women's March in Washington, in hundreds of cities in this country, and all over the world. Now, these are treacherous times for all of us, so we must stand up together and speak out. We must stand up and we must speak out. We say no to the hatred and misogyny that our president has espoused throughout his campaign. We say no to Congressman Faso, who voted to overturn the Affordable Care Act without a plan. Without a plan. You have abandoned your constituents, and we will remember that at the polls. During my 40-year career as an OBGYN physician, I always tried to listen to women's stories, to be technically competent, and also to convey respect and kindness. You know, I'm so happy to see signs again of feminists because, you know, it was the feminists of the 70s and the 80s who taught me how to be a good doctor. And I'm still... And it was always the women's stories that moved me. I performed hysterectomies, well woman care, delivered babies, some of whom are probably in this audience, and performed abortions. I remember performing you know, these people were amazing people. I remember performing a hysterectomy on a farmer whose uterus was the size of a basketball. She had to help with the milking, even though she could hardly stand up because of her heavy bleeding. After her surgery, I told her that she had to rest for 6 weeks. She looked at me as if I was crazy. She was back in the barn in a week. I remember so many women in labor whose babies' hearts almost stopped beating. Our team rushed them to the OR, performed emergency C-sections, and saved their babies. Well,
oh, that's nice.
You know, people who had those other signs didn't think I did that kind of thing. But I took care of all kinds of women, and the women that really broke my heart were the women that were sexually abused and sexually assaulted. You know, that's one in 3 women in this country. And many women are beaten and raped and abused right in this community. Our president believes that sexual assault is okay. And you know, we all heard him say it. But someone who assaults women doesn't deserve to be president. That's why I'm here, to stand up and speak out. Let's hear it. Stand up and speak out. I remember, it's about stories. So I'm telling you a few because for me it was about stories. I remember so well the abused woman who came to me for help. One of them, a tiny, emaciated, pregnant woman, I'll call her Carol, had bruises on her arms and back. I had previously prescribed birth control pills, so I asked her if she was able to take them. She told me that her boyfriend flushed her pills down the toilet and beat her when she came home late. She said, "He wants to force me to have his baby, but I don't want my baby to have a life like mine. Besides, he said he would kill me if I tried to leave." And most of you probably know that when abused women leave, that's the time that they get killed. She was working for minimum wage, had no family in the area, and no other place to go. After the abortion, I inserted an IUD and cut the string so he couldn't feel it. We know from our own history and from countries where abortion is illegal that many women die from hemorrhage and infection from unsafe abortions. Through the actions of state legislatures all over this country, it's become more and more difficult for women to get safe abortions or even to access effective contraception. Republicans in Congress have vowed to abolish the Affordable Care Act, to defund Planned Parenthood and clinics like Family Planning of South Central New York. So Congressman Faso, where do you suggest women go for their care? What's your plan? You don't have a plan. But it doesn't matter to you because you and Congress will always have excellent medical coverage. You're making decisions about who, how, and if people are going to get medical care. I call that practicing medicine without a license. Absolutely. Your president has already started to dismantle the Affordable Care Act. Without the Affordable Care Act, your constituents will overwhelm emergency rooms. They won't have insurance, so they won't get early preventative care, screening, or medications. They will arrive in diabetic coma with strokes, heart attacks, advanced cancer, or with sick children. Congressman Faso, your actions will deprive women of cancer screening, well woman care, and effective contraception. Without contraception and abortion, many women will be unable to get an education or to limit the size of their families. The man you support in the Oval Office thinks women's rights have come much too far in the last 40 years. But we respect women and men and diversity. Women's reproductive rights are human rights. So it's time to stand up and speak out. Stand up and speak out. Thank you.